still one of my favorite movies. It may not be a new film, but it never gets old. Hi, I'm Jennifer Stone. I play Harper on Disney's Wizards of Waverly Place. On my show, I'm surrounded by magic every day as the Russo kids turn people into animals, make objects move on their own, and travel to other worlds. It's the same kind of magic that's in Disney's 1971 classic, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Special effects magic, that is. And while the spells may be the same, today's special effects are done in a totally different way from back then. Today's magic is done with computers and something called a green screen. Whoa! Okay, that's not something you see every day, but this is a green screen. When we act out our scenes in front of the green screen, and the visual effects wizards use it to put us anywhere in any world they want. But it wasn't always so easy. Back when Bedknobs and Broomsticks came out in 1971, they couldn't rely on computers as much to help create the movie magic. Gosh, they probably didn't have cell phones or the internet either. Ugh. The old way still looked really cool and won Disney an Academy Award for special effects, but it took much longer and was much more complicated than today's process. It's amazing to see how all the tricks were done back then. Their techniques paved the way for how special effects are done today. And now, just like Miss Price, you and I are going to become apprentices, visual effects wizards in training, you could say, and learn the different spells behind these awesome tricks then and now.
The sodium screen vapor process was developed and perfected at Disney. In 1959, a gentleman had been working at the studio named Ub Iwerks, and he developed this great way to combine not only live action with animation, but even live action with live action. This new process allowed them to do a whole lot of stuff in the 1960s that they hadn't done before. In Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and photograph the bed and the characters on the bed against a sodium screen, which is all yellow.
The unique thing about the sodium process, it uses a reconfigured 3-strip Technicolor camera, which already had 2 film movements built in. And they put a prism in which removes only the sodium light.
So then you have 2 pieces of film, one that would have the color image without the yellow background.
So all the color information goes onto the color negative, but the sodium information from the screen gets onto the black and white stock to create a matte. Since it creates the mattes at the same time as the original photography, and you can separate whatever you photographed on the sodium stage from anything else that you want to put back into the picture.
On this piece of film, it would just be a holdout matte, like a silhouette of the bed, for instance. Now there's a black hole here in this piece of film, so they can take their new image that's got the actual bed and the actors on it, and now they run just the bed and the actors through on that same piece of film and expose that same piece of film, and then you add layers of animation and sparkle effects.
There's a great big machine called an optical printer that's about the size of a truck, and its job is to re-photograph all of these different pieces of film and put it into one single image.
And this new film would be known as your composite, and that is then what ends up in the movie.
Whoa! It's amazing that all of that went into the making of so many classic movies, like Mary Poppins, Pete's Dragon. Don't you already feel like a better special effects apprentice? I do. But wait, the fun has just begun. There's still another totally cool magic lesson in store for us. We've seen how special effects used to be done, but now let's learn how movie, or in my case, TV magic is made today. In order to do that, we're going to take a super fun field trip to meet the visual effects supervisor for Wizards of Waverly Place. Since we've already completed our first lesson, and we have the green screen here, maybe I can try out some of our new skills to get us there. Right, you ready, guys? Take me to the Wizards of Waverly Place Special Effects Department. Looks like I'm walking. So here we are at the Wizards of Waverly Place Visual Effects Department. In our next lesson, we get the awesome and rare opportunity to talk to the one and only John Allison, our little master wizard. He's going to show us how special effects are done using the ultimate space-age green screen technique compared to the sodium screen process we've already learned so much about. So come on, let's go. Hey John, how you doing? Well, thank you, John. I appreciate you having helping our little apprenticeship along today. So what is it you love about special effects?
I love doing things that are impossible.
We're in space! Nice! So how do the special effects from Bedknobs and Broomsticks compare to like the stuff you do on Wizards of Waverly Place?
Well, all the techniques are the same, pretty much, except now it's all put into a computer.
No, I find it really incredible because you know the big, huge like machines they had to use for the sodium screening process. I mean, it's amazing they can compile all that.
I can't believe you know about sodium vapor process.
Well, I've had a little bit of help.
Yeah, and that was interesting technique. And what the idea is to remove the background so that they can put people in a scene that doesn't really exist. We use green screen now.
How does it differ with the green screen?
The sodium process was developed by Disney, and it was a really good solution. However, as time went on, green screens and blue screens became a better solution. And today we just use, any camera, the green screen element, to make a composite.
I'm very new to this. I'm just an apprentice. So what do you mean by compositing? Like, what is that? What is the definition of that?
Well, compositing is when you're making a scene up from scratch, and you need to have separate elements, like the green screen element. In the example that I'm going to show you, you flying in the air. There you are on the green screen, so I have to cut that out, and then we're going to flip over to the actual shot. So that's the background, the way we shot it. And here's you flying in the air. We're going to add first the shadow, and now we're going to add the fire, 2 fire elements, and then we wanted to put the crowd in. There's our foreground crowd.
Oh, yeah.
All is in one,
Okay,
in a
so it's like a
scene.
big puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, John, so much for the presentation. I feel like as an apprentice, I know so much more now, but I will leave the special effects up to you because I can definitely not do what you do. Okay, so we've learned all about the special effects in 1971, and now we've seen how the modern day green screen stuff of today works. So let's see if some of this training has paid off. Okay, take me to the Isle of Nambubu. Sweet! I guess our training is over and we're real special effects wizards now. Thanks for joining me during these fun lessons on how to bring magic to the screen. Okay, I'm having too much fun. Time for one more trick. I will now disappear.